guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I've got a video talking about tips for being in a relationship, I guess. Or tips for having a boyfriend or something like that, I guess. I've had a few little relationships in my time in life, and ooh, that little like shoulder roll, that was weird. So I thought I would just share some tips I guess I have with you guys, or stuff. These are things that either I've done or I didn't do and then I learned after being in the relationship or being out of the relationship, like, oh, maybe like I should do this. And this is kind of just what I want to tell you if you've never been in one, or maybe you have and you haven't really thought about these things. They're just gonna be very like off the cuff, like whatever. I don't really have a list, so hope you like it, and let's get into it. So the first thing I would have to say is if you have to trust whoever you're with, and if you don't trust them, it's just not going to work out. This is something that you need to realize, because if you don't trust who you're with, whether you think that they're a great guy or whatever the case is, most of these could probably work for a friendship, maybe not all of them, so keep that in mind too. If you don't trust who you are dating, honestly, the relationship is going to be very, very challenging, because you're going to constantly be snooping around on their phone, or I've never done that personally, but I know people do that. And I think if you are doing that, whether you get caught or not, it's just not right, because the fact is that you don't have enough trust instilled in that person that you can not ever touch their phone, you know? I mean, personally, I just think that if you have to go the extra mile to snoop in your partner's phone, I guess, that is when you know, like, whether you find something or not, that relationship is just not going to work out, because you don't have trust in that person. And without the trust, honestly, there is no relationship. Trust is like the foundation of a relationship, and once the foundation is shaky or breaks away, then everything's going to fall through, you know? Like, if your foundation on your face isn't like killing it and it like starts to break down, then all your makeup is going to look bad and it's just not worth it, and you're going to have to find other makeup to work. Makeup analogies, love them. Okay, sorry about that. I had to delete footage in my camera because I talk way too much. But yeah, if you have no trust in a relationship, it's just not going to work out. And as much as that stinks, and as much as you would like it to, I really don't think that there's a way to like instill trust if you don't have it, I guess. Now, do I believe once a cheater, always a cheater? Personally, I have never been cheated on to my knowledge, but I think that if someone cheats on you, that, for me, if I was in that situation, that would be it. I know it's probably going to be different if I'm ever in that situation, which I hope I'm not. I hope you never are, or it never have been, because if I know I might be different, because it's like, oh, but I love him and I know he loves me. But it's like, honestly though, you really have to just know your worth in that type of a situation. You have to know that you're better than somebody who doesn't understand how great you are. Like, straight up, that's just how it is. And I just don't think you should ever go back to someone who has the audacity to go and be with somebody else for a few weeks or a day or an hour. Like, I don't care. Not like hang out with them, but like, you know, cheat on you, I guess. And I just think that that is so cold. And if I found out my current boyfriend, who is non-existent, so let's pretend, if he had cheated on one of his exes, I think, for me, I would have to wait and see if he cheated on me. But I would want him to be the one to tell me, like, look, I cheated on my ex-girlfriend, but like, I don't do that anymore, whatever. It would definitely depend on the situation, but I think if a person cheated on me, I wouldn't let myself, no matter how much I wanted to be with them, you know, because it's just not worth it, honestly. If somebody, like I said, has even the thought to like do something like that, that's just, it's so messed up. And so many of these things happen because people are just so new to relationships and stuff, and are young and whatever. So many excuses, but legit, I don't care what the excuse is, they did it and that's just not cool. Now I think you should honestly take into consideration what your family and friends think of this person. And I know that they might not want to be honest with you because they don't want to hurt your feelings or they don't want to like, you know, make you feel like bad about it or whatever. But after he meets your family or friends, or maybe after he's met them a few times, ask them, just be like, hey, what do you think of this person? What do you think of him and I together, and what do you think of him as a person? And if they're like, oh, he's nice, just be like, no, like, what do you actually think? And if they're like, no, I actually think he's a good person or whatever, then that's good. I think you should definitely take into consideration what they think, because I think that is like one of the most important things. Your opinion of course matters, but I also think how other people see him or her, but for me it's a him, is very, very important, because kind of seeing how he will interact with them or seeing what their opinion is for someone who, you know, doesn't have googly eyes for him, you know, that'll make it a lot better, I guess, to see what they think. And I think going off of a first impression can be a little bit harsh. That's why I said maybe wait after a few times. But I think if your family is like, you know what, Brooke, that's my name, so I'm using Brooke, hello. I think if they were like, Brooke, like, this is not a nice person, here's why, I have valid reasoning, then that's for you to be like, okay, bye, off the table. But so I think it's up to you, obviously, to make the final decision, but just something to keep in mind. If your family and friends are like, hey, like, I really don't think so, then definitely take them into consideration, because they know you quite well. And especially if they've known you longer than you've known the guy. Like, that matters to me. Now, this is something really random, and it's not really much of a tip, it's more like an opinion. I think that you should pay as equal as the guy. Not maybe not every meal you have, like, split it down the middle or like pay for what each of you bought, but I'm saying, like, sometimes he'll take you out and sometimes you'll take him out or stuff like that. I think that's just really sweet when you guys can just kind of do that and it's not always on one person. So I just think that's something really random. See what their love language is. And I don't really know love languages to the extent that I wish I did, but I think some of them are like, it's how you express your love, basically. Some of them are like affection, some of them are like giving gifts, or I really can't think of any of the other ones. Those are the top two I can remember. But for me personally, affection and giving a gift is probably even more. I love giving gifts. So just like see what their love language is, I guess, and just so you can kind of see how they will act in their relationship, if that makes any sense. And I know that might be really stupid to some people, but to me that's like important, because I've been in a relationship before when a big anniversary came up and I gave a gift and I didn't get one, and I was literally like, I'm not the type of person who is very materialistic. Like, I know I have a lot of makeup, I know about all that stuff, but like relationships to me are way more important. But the fact is, it was just very like, are you kidding me? I didn't make a big deal of it at the time, but we broke up soon after, so it's fine. But like something like that, like I know it might not have been the person's love language to give gifts, but at the same time it's like, this is a very important day and it's just something you do, and it's like making them look like a bad person, I guess. And I know it's like something really random, but I just think you have to look out for signs like that. Let me see, what else? Now, if you were in your first relationship, whether it's in junior high, hello junior high people, or whether it's in high school, hello high school people, whether it's in college, hello college people, like, no matter when it is, I think you have to just remember, I talked about this a little bit earlier, but you have to always remember your worth. If you're being treated poorly, you are worth way more than that. I just think that is something so important to remember. I know that's something that a lot of people really don't think about. I just think it's really important to realize how much you are worth, not to another person, but as a person. And if you are ever dating someone who is like, hey, like, do this for me, and then maybe you don't want to do something for them, like you don't want to drive all the way over to their house to just like hang out for like 30 minutes and then leave, I don't know, something so random, and they're like, do this, like, do this, like being so demanding or just rude or something, and you just do it because you're like, well, they're nice to me a lot of the time, But the thing is, if they're not nice to you literally 99.9% of the time, it's just not worth it, especially at a young age. Like, I consider myself a young person because I'm 17. If you're younger than me, if you're older than me, I think honestly any age, but I know like in marriages or when you're dating, like when adults are dating or whatever, it's a lot more real because you have money to factor in, you have maybe kids, you have bills to pay, like stressful things like that. So why would you want to bring such stress into your everyday life as a kid? You know? I just think relationships around this age should be fun and carefree, and of course you're gonna butt heads sometimes because you are not the same person and you don't think everything the same. And if there's never a butting of a head situation, it's because someone's not standing up for what they believe in and they're always giving in, and that's not okay either. So there has to be a happy medium of you're having a great time basically all the time, but sometimes you have some small fights. Yeah. Now, another thing I think is if you break up, more often than not, you should not get back together. Now, I'm talking about the couple that will break up, get back together in 2 days, break up, get back together in 2 days, that type of a thing. I don't think those are really healthy and strong relationships because you need a chance, if you keep breaking up, you need a chance to realize who you are as a person, and they need a chance to realize who they are. And if you guys can't realize that as a couple, like being individuals but also as a couple, you know, I just don't think it's as worth it. And I just think that those types of couples who break up, get back together, break up, get back together, blah, 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 all of that is just way too stressful, and it's way too emotionally damaging on yourself and on that other person. And you know what, maybe you will get back together in a few months or in a few years down the line, but maybe you won't. But I just think it's a lot better if you make a clean break with this person. And I know some people, they can't do that because they're, you know, way too infatuated with the other person. Like, I totally get that. And I've been in situations before when it's like, I care about this person so much, I don't want to break up. But it's like, once you do and once you kind of leave a situation, the fact, like, you're gonna be just way more happier as a person, and they're gonna be way more happier as a person. And I just think those types of relationships are the ones that they had good moments, but they just need to end. Because obviously if you keep getting back together, there's a reason for that, because you have good moments. But at the same time, if those good moments are equally balanced off by horrible things, it's just not worth it. So that was it for this video. I hope you liked it. It was just basically me throwing relationship ideas at you. I actually, what was that accent? Okay, I've actually done a video like this a few months ago. I love doing relationship videos. If you have any questions about relationships, you could totally leave them below. I would love to do something like a relationship Q&A or something like that. So if you have any questions you want to ask me, totally do it. That'd be great. So I think that is it from me today, but thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day. Please be sure to subscribe, comment, thumbs up, and all that jazz. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.
Let me love you till you feel alright.